It is an honor to be a guest to work, live, and play on these ancestral, traditional, unceded territories of the Okanagan Syilx Nation. David Wilson Sookinakin was born and raised in the Vernon area as a member of the Okanagan Indian Band. His art embraces his identity as an Interior Salish person. In 2012, he won the BC Achievement Award for Aboriginal Art. In 2022, he designed the logos for the 2022 BC Games. David has shown extensively across BC and has completed many commendable public commissions. He articulates traditional motifs and portrays them in brilliant hues with acrylic paint. Inspired by pictographs, stories, Indigenous imagery from many ancient cultures. Join us as we visit this humble, quiet soul in his home studio here in Vernon, BC to learn more about his journey. I'm Carrie McLeod. Welcome to The Makers. Hi, David. It's good to see you.
See you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Ever since I was a kid in Barstow Elementary School, I was always looking for our art, the art of my ancestors, and eventually I found it in the museum in their archives section. There was a book on pictographs. So I'd looked at it for many years. When I was a kid, I didn't really have the art background. Mm-hmm. So it took me a while to learn things, to get some background. I learned how to do the West Coast art. Then I came back and I just went and got the pictures from the museum, copied them, Xerox, I think, back then.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I guess from there I just started. Everything wasn't really complete with pictographs. There were only a few animals, and I had to use my imagination to get them all. I did 150 of them.
So when you said you learned, you studied coastal art, would that be like Haida art, for instance?
Yes, I learned from a Haida guy and a Coast Salish guy.
Is that something that artists from different areas openly share with each other? Like, would you teach someone from the coast your pictographs that you've designed, or is that sort of something like for the Okanagan area?
Absolutely. I have worked with OKIB students, young students. I did a workshop, and when I was there, I told them that they could copy my artwork. That there's no tracing, but they'd be able to use the artwork to inspire in the same way that I guess the first pictographs I did was something like the Okanagan Indian Band logo, which is a porcupine. So since a very young age, I've seen that, and it gave me courage to continue on. I knew it could be done. I just needed to use my imagination and create it. And the kids, I think they'll eventually start creating the pictographs. I really don't allow the established artists to create to copy my style, but the kids are, because I need like 10 years maybe until I'm close to when I'm no longer here, then they can take it. At this point in time, I don't want to share too much.
But you are sharing your style and your story, like how you learned from very basic books, and then that will inspire them to keep sort of building on that and continuing it, which is beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, and the kids will be able to take it.
Can we go back to when you were first starting? And did you feel like you were supported by your community and your family on sort of pursuing a job and a life as an artist?
It was very tough to be an artist, and it was tough to survive. Bills need to be paid. So I just had to keep going. And the family was supportive, but just took a long time because I had to get bills paid. And
was that your job always? Just you devoted your time to art? Is that how you developed?
I don't know if I devoted my life to it. I think I had to live life first before I could become more of a complete artist. It was, I guess must have been at least 30. I started about when I was 10. I first found the book on pictographs, and it took me a long time, probably 20 years of living. And I also had to learn some kind of style where it took me a while.
To sort of develop because you do have a very signature style.
Yes.
Can you tell us about Kelowna Art Gallery? What's happening there? I mean, Kelowna City Hall. What's happening there?
We're trying to indigenize the meeting rooms.
Okay.
My current project is 13 canoes made of styrene and painted. They all have like their own birds. Okay, 13 moons refers to 13 lunar cycles of 28 days each, with one extra day. It's kind of more of a natural calendar. I'm working with elders, Grouse Barnes and Pamela Barnes from West Bank First Nations, and I'm doing a 13 moon exhibit, which includes the canoes, but each canoe represents a moon, a 28-day lunar cycle. And it'll also include 4 of my large paintings that represent fall salmon harvest, spring, summer, and winter. migrating Canadian geese. There's 3 of them. And it's a colorful picture.
Is it based on a story, or did you just create it?
No, I just created it.
Do you just have, like, do you just imagine how things will be, or?
I do usually have a story, but some of them are just pretty pictures.
Okay.
This is kind of a pretty picture, but it talks about migrating. People really don't understand because of that there was a time when churches were being burned, but this is not about churches being burned. This is called returning to the earth. We have the church here. It's actually a abandoned church that's had the planks taken off, and it's returning to the earth. These are actually my surreal trees. So it's not about burning anything. We have some owls here, some eagles. There's one here with a fish, and there's one here. So I turned a more of a Christian type of Orthodox symbol, which I see here. Cross, but actually it to me is a medicine wheel.
Oh.
And I think it's something that would go with the teachings, eh?
That's beautiful.
And
salmon?
Yes, we have here, we have some rainbow trout.
Oh,
This is a pine tree. There's some pine cones here. This is a caterpillar. It represents change. That's what this means.
It turns into a butterfly? Is that
Yes,
what you mean?
yes, it turns into something beautiful.
Beautiful. And you've got the sort of sunset, like the undulating colors, like a sunset that are repeated from this painting.
Yes, yeah, I use a lot of it. Some I use on moons, but usually the sun. Then these are all my pictographs. Most of these are the ones that I've created. So I'd be like a bee. I think this is a kingfisher. Not sure what this one is. This is a hummingbird, magpie, beetle, moth.
It caught my eye when we walked in. And it's a drum?
Yes,
Can you tell us about that?
yeah. It's it's a drum. It's been around for a long time. It's lasted a long time. A lot of mine break, eh? But this is works very well. I use a lot of blue herrings. For some reason, I just like blue herrings with the rookery in town. So I think Penticton has one too, but it's one of my favorite animals. It's a ancient water symbol. So it has the swirl, and we have a mountain goat. They have a pictograph very similar to this with a water, what looks like a water swirl. So that's where I got this idea from.
It's beautiful. What about the imagery on the mountain goat's back? The patterns.
Oh, here?
Mm-hmm.
This is just a person who's actually holding what I think is a pail of water.
Oh, okay.
A lot of elders I see, they may be on a spiritual journey and they're holding a pail of water. Maybe it has to do something with the age of Aquarius.
Oh.
But I haven't asked them, but it's important to them, so that's why I put importance to it.
these are your images, right?
Yes, these were the 16 sport pictograms that were used for the Winter Games in 2022. This was presented to me. Has a acknowledgement there.
Beautiful.
And there were pictographs.
They're snowboarding, right?
Yes, yes.
Skiing, cross-country skiing. I'm trying to pick out all the sports.
Yeah.
And this is for the Paralympics?
I think so, yeah. There's basketball.
Basketball.
Yes. Most of them were alpine events, skiing and whatnot. And I turned it into a flag, and I have a beach cottage on the west side that I'm going to put on the lake. Gonna have to make us a flagpole.
Now that we can see these up close, can you go through and explain the birds?
These are all birds that are indigenous to the area of Okanagan, and these were all just kind of handpicked by the elders. Each one represents something. This one would start with a Canadian goose. This one would be a willow grouse. This one is a blue grouse. This one is a quail, and this one is a raven.
So this is the one side, and then the other side you said there was going to be a mirror image?
Yes, yes.
So you'll do that next?
Yes, and I'll have the moon on the back.
Beautiful. Oh, because it's the 13 faces of the moon?
Yes, yes. And I also want to is to show that the seasons change.
Okay, beautiful. And it looks like right here that you've started getting ready to paint the top.
No, that was just something I've used. I create them, I put them on Mylar, then I transfer them to here. So it's exact same image. It's like a plastic tracing paper. And I use this to transfer designs. So I can get an exact mirror image on the other side.
I see, so you create that and you can flip it because it's see-through. And
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's a good way to do it.
So you just, you have one side is a paper or a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
You turn it around and you just go on over it with the lines with the pencil, and it'll leave a design. Yeah, it's kind of like a tattoo, maybe.
Oh yeah. These are light. So what did you make them out of?
Styrene.
And how was that process?
That's actually I get pieces of styrene, 8 feet, 8 by 4 feet, and 2 feet wide.
Okay.
And I'll cut the top part out of here. I'll glue them together, then I'll carve them in here, then in here, then I'll sand them down, fill in the parts. It's really tough to do because when you sand them, it kind of looks like it gets a grape or a orange peel feel.
Oh, okay. And then how do you bring it back to being smooth again?
I put several coats of gesso on.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and sand them down. News that represent the 13 lunar months in a year. Each has 28 days. There are significance for each one. I'd have to talk to the elders again about exactly what they were, but they have a bird for each month. There are some birds are like winter birds.
Okay.
So this would be a raven. It's around all year round. This migrates. I think this willow, these grouse stay here.
Okay.
They don't really fly very well, and the quail I think stays around too. He doesn't fly very well either. Yeah, you can't travel very far. Yes, this is my 7-year-old granddaughter, Michaela. This is one of her designs. She spent quite a bit of time to do this, and so she could give it to me, her grandfather.
David said something during our visit that deeply resonated with me. He said, "You need to live life first." Creative people often put tremendous pressure on themselves to reach unrealistic goals and perfect their crafts. This leads to a sense of artistic paralysis. Being a maker and living a creative life should never be a race. In living, you are learning, which will always help you grow. David took inspiration from 12 basic pictographs he found in a book as a child and spent years developing them into a series of 150 pictographs to portray the species of the Okanagan peoples and land. His distinctive style is opening doors for learning and sharing Indigenous history and values in spaces traditionally dominated by colonial narratives. I believe the work that David is creating will leave a lasting legacy towards reconciliation in our Okanagan Valley. Thank you for joining us for this segment of The Makers.